Hey Rad Friends, it's Gary the Rad Boss, back with Yvette for our latest installment in our video series. We've got a back-to-back ride this weekend, so we're doing a back-to-back video. We're going to combine the coach's tip of the week to give you everything you need to know about this very important ride weekend that you don't want to miss. So Yvette, what do we have in store for our back-to-back ride?
Well, the back-to-back ride is really a dress rehearsal for ride day. So this is the opportunity that we have to run through the dress rehearsal, assess our fitness, make sure that we're steady pacing, and then work on our nutrition plan.
So tell me more about assessing your fitness.
So if you've been coming to training since January, indoor and outdoor training, you probably have a good idea of what your fitness level. We've been doing a lot of 40 and 50 mile rides, so this should just be an easy day for you. The new thing that we're throwing in is the ride the next day. So you're going to be able to assess your recovery and how well your body feels or doesn't feel on day 2, so that you can start working that into your training plan in the future. Maybe get a quick ride in on a Sunday after a Saturday ride so that your body's used to doing that. Now, if your training's been a little bit spotty or potentially this is your first training ride, then don't worry about it. That's what the 40-mile option is for. Come on out, get that 40 miles in, and then you can assess, yeah, it's time for me to step up my game a little bit. Maybe I need to ride a couple of times during the week to get caught up. We've got 52 days until the magic weekend, and that's plenty of time to train. So don't panic. I'm there for you. We're going to work it all out, and we're going to have a very successful ride.
It's going to be a good weekend.
Yeah. It's also a really good time to assess your equipment. Maybe if you've got that ache that you continue to have, or that seat isn't quite right, this is the ride weekend to say it didn't work on day 1, it didn't work on day 2. It's time to get to the local bike shop and get this stuff checked out so that 52 days from now, you're all set.
So you know what you got to do for 52 days. What about pacing?
Pacing is really important. I can imagine that almost everybody watching the video today has probably been at a race where the gun goes off and people just bolt out and they run as fast as they can, especially in an endurance race. But they're not kind of sticking to their pacing plan. And because of that, whatever they saved in that first mile or two running so fast, they lose on the back end. In fact, sometimes they don't even get to finish the race by running, they're walking. The same holds true for your bike. Set your pace. If you've been riding at 15 miles an hour, that's your pace. This is not the time to try to go out at 18 miles an hour. Ride your pace and feel good at that pace for all 100 or 200 miles.
And this is your time again to assess where you are.
Assess where
hold
you're
back.
at, yeah. And then figure out who else around me rides at that pace. And those are your pace buddies. Those are the people that you're going to see over and over and at the ride, and they will help get you through and help make you successful.
So we talked about assessing your fitness and steady effort. And I'm assuming the next thing is nutrition, which has got to be more than Oreos.
It is. As much as I love a blonde birthday cake Oreo, okay, there's more to my nutrition plan. There should be more to yours too than just Oreos. And I really want to emphasize fluids, and it really starts with fluids. 30 minutes into your ride, you want to start hitting with those fluids. Maybe 16 to 24 ounces of fluids per hour throughout the ride. And maybe even a little bit more if you tend to be a heavy sweater. And most bottles on your bike are about 24 ounces. Sometimes you can get the bigger ones, you can get 28 ounces in there, but make sure that you've got 2 bottles and that they're full.
And Crew's going to be out there with more water if you need it?
Yep.
Yeah. So you got 2 water bottles. Do you do a water bottle with sports drink and a water bottle with water?
I do. Now, sports drinks, they provide fluids along with carbohydrates and electrolytes, and that helps keep your body energized. It helps transport nutrition to your muscles, and then as your muscles use that nutrition, being adequately hydrated enables your body to move the waste product out of your muscles and out of your system. And it also helps regulate your body temperature, which is really important, especially on a hot day.
But you want a good mix. You don't want to just be doing only electrolytes, right?
Right. I usually have 1 bottle of sports drink and 1 bottle of water, and I consume usually both of those, and I should be consuming both of those in between pit stops. So by the time I'm out of a pit stop or going into a pit stop, I've consumed 2 of those bottles, and that puts me right at about a bottle an hour.
All right, so you're staying hydrated. What about food and nutrition?
So food kind of comes in two forms. The first form we'll talk about are the sports gels. That helps you get more calories in. And when we talk about calories, we really want to consume about 350 to maybe 400 calories for this type of event that we're doing. It would be less if it were an hour and a half event, but most of us are looking at somewhere between 6 and 10 hours on the bike. And climbing those hills and pushing big watts, so we want to get lots of calories in. It's hard to get 350 calories in just with fluids, so the gels help boost that up. Gels or shot blocks, they've got about 100 calories a piece in them. They're easy to digest, they're kind of easy to hit on the road. The shot blocks, a lot of people like those because they're like gummy bears and they can kind of chew on them as they go. Other people like that, one shot of the goo and they're off. They can be a little bit irritating to your stomach, depending on the brand. So this is the time to experiment with the brand and make sure that you've got something that's compatible with you. And also check to see if it's got caffeine. I like the caffeine boost. I love that cup of espresso in the afternoon to charge me up, and I use that on the bike. And I'm not caffeine sensitive. If you are caffeine sensitive, stay away from any products because it won't make you feel very good out there.
So the 100 calorie packs are helpful, but that's going to be a lot of those to make up your deficit.
It is.
What else
So,
are we doing?
you're going to get maybe 100 or 150 calories in your sports drink. Now you've got about 100 calories in a gel. So, the other opportunity is in a solid. And the solid could be an energy bar or it could be a whole food. Good energy bars for this event are going to be the 10-5-5. Less than 10 grams of protein, less than 5 grams of fiber, and less than 5 grams of fat. And our bar is
Good greens, that
Good
definitely
greens.
fits that.
Meets
10,
all
5,
those.
5.
Yep, 10-5-5. So if you get out of that ratio, it can be kind of upsetting in your tummy. And if it has a lot of fiber in it, you might be spending more time in the porta potty than you are on the road. So to avoid that, 10-5-5. If you don't use bars, you can use whole foods. Some people like to have something a little bit more natural, less preservatives. And so you can get that in potatoes. You can have dried fruit, granola, organic. Fig Newtons are really good, and pretzels. And so that stuff is easy. You still have to put it in a bag. You still have to transport it, but it doesn't typically last as long as the energy bars, and they're not kind of as easy, and sometimes they can get a little bit messy.
But like a bagel or an English muffin or some other bread.
That works too. All the research that they've done when they've compared like whole foods to energy bars, it's the same sort of long release, time released carbohydrates to your body. And I think
So what are you eating before we ride on Saturday?
so. What I like to eat, what works for me, is I have a banana. I have a serving of peanut butter, and then I usually have something a little grainy on the side. So it could be a waffle. I like, or a half a bagel, or possibly some paleo granola that I'll take on the way with me. I love that stuff. It's easy to consume. It's clean. It doesn't upset my stomach. It's easy to digest, and I don't burn it off very quickly. It kind of stays with me. But breakfast is really important because if you're not fueled to start, you're already going to be behind the power curve.
What are you going to eat, Saturday night to get you into Sunday?
Saturday night into Sunday, I am a big believer in salmon. Salmon has natural anti-inflammatory properties in them. I've had really good luck with it. I'm not a huge carbo loader. That is kind of an old school of thought. I think you eat good foods that are easily digested. That's not going to cause you to be in the porta potty the next day. And something that kind of fills you up and makes you feel good. You don't have to eat, 5 bowls of pasta. It's not necessary, and then you're carrying 5 bowls of pasta with you around all day long on the bike.
That's not what you want.
That's not what you want.
No. Anything else you do between a back-to-back? Do you foam roll? Do you stretch?
Sometimes I foam roll, I stretch, try to stay really, really hydrated. I get my legs up for a little bit, and I move around. Movement, walking, it's a good stuff, and just try to resume normal activity, and it'll help prepare you for the ride the next day.
Yeah, and I think it's true that most of our riders who've been coming out with us consistently have been done by noon. So you got the second half of the day to
Yep, all day to
recover.
to recover. But keep
Awesome.
moving.
Yeah, all right. So this is going to be a really great ride. You know, it's a really great opportunity for you to assess your fitness level, your nutrition, your pace. And I know that going forward after this, we're going to be in pace groups instead of divided.
We're going out into pace groups. So if you're a 13-mile-an-hour rider, you're going to join up with the 13-mile-an-hour riders. If you're a 20-mile-an-hour rider, you can find the 1 or 2 20-mile-an-hour riders that are out there to ride with you.
It's going to be really good. We'll see you on the road.
Alrighty, see you there.